This is Ben. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, sir. Sir, my first question to you is, to what extent did your organization provide aid to the families?
Yes, it's quite a tough question, so it will need some time to explain that. As you know, that Alkhidmat Foundation Pakistan is a relief agency, and we are doing all these disaster management activities for the last 2 decades. We have been there in the 2005 earthquake and then in 2010 floods as well, and now we are working in the 2022 floods as well. It was quite a huge disaster, and you better know that 33 million people were affected in Sindh, Balochistan, South Punjab, and all these areas. So we are providing, as you know, in the first phase you have to rescue people. So we use boats and vehicles and other means to rescue people. Then you enter into the relief phase. Then we provide cooked food and meals and clean water and all those things to the needy people. You know that they are most of the people, like it was around more than 10 million people were displaced from their homes, and the current figure is that 2.1 million houses are damaged, either fully damaged or partially damaged. So it's a lot of population. So we provide them with all this good food, then we provide them shelter with tents, tarpaulin sheets, all these activities. Then come the health issues. As you know that when there is water and people are living outside, so the waterborne diseases was there, and other climate related diseases were also there. Then we started arranging and organizing medical camps. So till now we have arranged more than 1,000 medical camps, and around more than 377,000 patients were treated over there. So these are like the activities that we have done so far. There are other things that we have established schools over there in disaster scenario. We call the temporary learning centers. Currently 17 of our such centers are operational. So these are the activities that we are doing right now.
So would you describe the conditions of the areas affected by the floods and people living there?
It's quite bad. These areas, the people that live in there, they are already below poverty line. They are quite poor people, quite vulnerable, and you know that it's a rural structure. There is no large cities included in these areas. So as they were already vulnerable, and you know that when disaster hits any vulnerable society, so it creates a very negative results and negative impact. So it was the first thing that as they were already poor, they had no financial resources. For example, if their house is damaged, then they have no bank account to just withdraw the money and start building again. That was the main thing that about this disaster. The other thing is that many of the areas were inaccessible for quite a long time, and you can reach today those areas only through boats or through helicopters or things like that. So for the first 15 to 20 days were quite tough, and even now there are accessibility issues that relief agencies and the government authorities are trying to give them more relief and shape out the food items and all these things. So we can hope that the things will get better in the future. But currently there is an outbreak of malaria and dengue. So it has complicated the things, and there are a lot of health challenges to a large population. So we can hope that things will get better in the near future, inshallah.
Would be that why do you think it is necessary for volunteer organizations like yours to provide aid alongside with the government in such situations?
Look, like in disaster, you all know that definition of disaster is that when a situation is beyond the coping capacity of the society. That you cannot, no one can manage that. So then all these players, the national players and international players, the governments used to give an appeal to the international community, as in this case as well. The UN Secretary General has visited Pakistan. So in a poor country like Pakistan, the aid agencies and the NGOs and the civil society organization, they are very much crucial and important in all such relief operations. And the government ability to respond is very limited. It's due to many reasons, it's due to structural reasons, it's due to all these, we call it the corruption and all these things. But they have quite a limit. They have the capacity to a certain level. But for such a large disaster, government need the assistance of its citizens, the society, and the aid agencies. So that's why everyone used to encourage volunteers and aid agencies to come into play in such situation.
Next question to you is that what do you say about the government authorities organizing rehabilitation?
Rehabilitation, it's not yet started at its full pace. Things are being discussed at various forums and levels, and we hope that in the next 2 to 3 weeks we will fully enter into the rehabilitation process. Government has still not announced its plan that how they will do what they do with the houses that have been damaged. But although the Venezuelan income support program that the government, as you know, it's a social safety net, so they are dispersing 25,000 rupees per family, and they are doing it regularly for the last month. So we hope that government will announce any big scheme or plan to rehabilitate these people, to rehabilitate the infrastructure. The road infrastructure has been damaged, bridges are collapsed over there, and houses are a reality that more than 2 million is a very big number. So we hope that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, rehabilitation activities will get momentum.
You feel that the damage which was caused by this flood somehow had been prevented, at least to some extent?
You have heard that all these things happen due to the climate change phenomena, and Pakistan is a very little contributor. It's like they have a nominal contribution in the climate change, and we are producing like less than 1%. Our carbon footprint is less than 1%. So there were signs and there were predictions and forecasts that rains at this time rains will be much higher. Its quantity will be much higher than the usual. But on such a large scale, it was never. There were no forecasts like it. In some areas, it was more than 400 times of rain. But we need to understand that there are many countries who face disasters, but they even not a single death occurs, or not even a single person is displaced, because they have, you can say, designed a mechanism to cope with the disaster. For example, in the current disaster, if we can have good river management, good rain management, we have small dams, or we have an eye on all the water channels, and you can multiply it by having good house infrastructure that can be weather resistant. You can make roads, good roads, all weather roads they call it. For example, after when the flood water recedes, so the road is good and clear, but this is not in our case. So many things can be avoided, and it could be avoided, it can be avoided in future. But the thing is that we will need good planning, good execution of that plans. First of all, it will need good studies that how to prevent such a large, how to deal with such large amount of water. Because water is scarce in Pakistan, you know. Just after 2 months you will be weeping and crying that there is no water, and drought-like situation in many areas. So this water can be utilized by building small dams or such infrastructure. There are a lot of new techniques underground water tanks are being built in urban cities. Even Lahore has a good infrastructure for it. They are building it. It was a good experience. So not all disaster and not every situation can be tackled, but there must be some planning so that negative effects can be minimized. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting headquarters of Alkhidmat Foundation, and we will be delighted that you visit next time, do volunteer work with us, and wish you a very good video editing as well. Thank you.